Let's do another one. What if one data frame is bigger than the other? What do I mean by that? Let's take a simple example again. So this is our order table, and this is our order number, and let's say order status. So 1001 order number, status is delivered. 1002 is pending. And then we have another table, order details, that is going to have order number. So that's the common column. And then we have the line number and order value. If you don't specify any options, it's only going to take the common rows, meaning there's a 1001 here, there's a 1001 here. Okay, these two rows will be combined with this row. And then if there was a 1003, 1003 will be combined with the 1003 row. What about this guy, 1002? Where will it go? It doesn't have corresponding data in this table. Like I said, if we do a merge without any options, this row will be gone. Meaning, when you do a merge, only common rows are pulled up. So based on this key, which is the order number, the common column, only the common rows are pulled up. Everything that's not common, meaning 1002 is not available in this table, so it drops the 1002 row. That's how merge works by default. But what if there is some information that you can lose, so you want to bring the missing values also, meaning you want to bring 1002 also, maybe with NAs for details. That's exactly what the merge is trying to avoid, because it doesn't make any sense to bring the data in because there's no data in the second table. But what if you want to have the order number 1002 also in the merged data frame with pending delivery status, basically a copy of this, and have NAs against the order details because you don't have data for the order details? Can you do that? Yes, you can. Before we do that, let's do something. So there's this 6 items here, right? So let's enter a seventh item, something that's not available in the other second data frame. R bind. So orders of seventh row, and then all columns of course, equals CF 13007, the seventh order, comma, let's say it's pending. Okay, now what is orders? Orders has 7 orders, but order dot details does not have 7 orders, it only has 6, right? How is this merge going to work? What we want is the merge to have this data but have NAs against the order details. So the way to do that, but default merge will not work like that, right? So if you say merge these two tables or data frames, let's see how it merges happen. So there's no 13007, right? Because by default only the common rows will be pulled up. So how to get all the values from the orders table? You specify all dot x or y, depending on which is left and which is right, to be true. So the way you do that is say, do the same thing, but in this case, the orders table, which is on the right, has more rows. So we're going to say, instead of all dot x, we're going to say all dot y. What happens in this case? All the rows in y, which represents this data frame, to be pulled up even though there are no common rows in this data frame. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, now what does order have? Do you see that? It has a 13007 order number, and that is pending, no doubt. But the details, like the item, the product details, and pricing, is missing. The reason being, it's not available in the order details table. As simple as that. So this is how you merge data frames, where some of the data is missing in one of the data frames, and because merge by default does not pull in the uncommon rows, it only merges based on the common rows. We are trying to bring everything in by saying all dot x, meaning if you want to bring everything from the left data frame, we say all dot x. If you want to bring everything from the right data frame, we say all dot y equals true. Okay. How about merging by row names? Now, so far we have been merging based on column names, right? What if we want to merge by row names? We actually have the empty cars dataset where we have spectacular row names. This is the Mazda RX-4. This is the Mazda RX-4 wagon, so on and so forth, right? And then all the attributes associated with that car. So you see there are no row numbers but row labels, right? Why do you want to merge based on row names? Well, let's take a scenario. Say you're working with a motor car magazine company and you're trying to basically get data associated with a bunch of sports cars, let's say. And some of the data from data source 1 contains data associated with all the mercs, right? And the data is going to be exactly like that. And the Toyota company is going to give you the Toyota related values like the Toyota Corolla, Corona, Camry, so on and so forth. And the Mazda company is going to give you just this Mazda rows, right? Now we want to create a new data frame that's going to be a combination of all these data frames. How do you do that? All the columns are the same. We just gotta do an R bind kind of a thing. All right. So let's explain why you would want to do that. Say you're working with a company that's trying to collaborate with the different car manufacturers and come up with some data. And the source of the data is based on the different kind of tests that are performed. And some tests are related to the miles per gallon, some tests are related to the acceleration, and the common variable being the name of the car. Let's say Mazda C1 is the name of the car, and team A is responsible for, let's say, 4 of these variables or attributes. Let's say MPG and acceleration, number of cylinders, the stroke, 4-stroke, or, well, not stroke. Let's say it's a V4 or a V6, right? And then there's team B that's getting data like the safety rating, the pollution parameters, so on and so forth. And you are going to combine both this data into one row, Mazda C1, containing all these columns. The common factor being that the row name is same. How are you going to do that? Well, let's just create this team A and team B data, and then we're going to see how we're going to combine data based on the row names. Okay, so team A is going to give you the empty cars data set, all the rows, but just 1 through 4 columns. 4 columns. Okay, team B is going to give you all the rows, of course, but starting with 5 until the 8th column. So if you look at team A or head of team A, it's going to have mpg cylinder displacement hp. And if you look at team B, for the same set of cars, this is going to have other details like the weight, the stopping distance in seconds, so on and so forth. Now, what we want is to combine these two data frames based on the row name. The way to do that is by just specifying the flag y equals row dot names, right? So all dot data equals merge of team A, team B, comma, by equals row dot names. Enter. Now let's do head of all data. So we have everything, right? So the mpg is there, the cylinder displacement hp, the first four columns here, and then the next four columns here, drat, weight, qsec, versus. Right now, when it does that merge, it tries to actually create a new column called row dot names, and then tries to sort them in alphabetical order. So it doesn't start with Mazda M, but it starts with AMC Javelin, which is A, and then there's no B, so it starts with a C, and then a D, so on. If you want, you can let go of these row dot names if you don't want them, or you can have them as is.